Long ago, deep in Igbo land, sat a quiet village called Umuogbo. The village was peaceful, filled with tall iroko trees, red earth paths, and huts with straw roofs. Among all the children in the village, one girl stood out. Her name was Adaora, a slim, brave girl with bright eyes that could see far like an eagle. While other girls learned cooking, hair weaving, and dancing, Adaora followed her father, Okafor the chief hunter, into the forest. She learned how to track footprints, use a bow, listen to the wind, and move without a sound. People began to call her Adaora, the village huntress of Umuogbo. Some villagers loved her. Some whispered that a girl should not hunt. Adaora did not care. She knew she had a purpose. One silent night, the wind changed. It became cold, too cold. The moon hid behind thick clouds. Elders gathered at the village square. They felt something strange in the air. Drums stopped. Birds went quiet. The ground shook lightly like a warning. Suddenly, a strange, deep horn echoed from the forest. Vroom, vroom. People ran into their huts. Even warriors closed their doors. Only Adaora stepped out. She saw a red glow moving far in the forest. Then she heard it. A long, slow growl, not from any animal she knew. "Something is coming," she whispered. The peace of Umuogbo was about to break. The next morning, the village seer, Mwanyuudu, visited Adaora. Her hair was white like cotton, and she walked with a carved staff. She looked deeply into Adaora's eyes. "Child, you were born for this moment." Adaora felt fear rise inside her. "For what moment, ne?" The seer pointed toward the forest. "A dark army wakes. They come for Umuogbo. Only the Huntress will stop them." Adaora almost dropped her bow. "Me? How can I fight an army?" The seer smiled softly. "Courage does not choose age. It chooses the willing." That evening, as the sun went down, the ground trembled again. Then they came. Shadow-like creatures with glowing red eyes marched out of the forest. They were tall, with long arms and deep voices like thunder. Villagers screamed. Warriors raised their spears. But the creatures moved fast, too fast. One grabbed a warrior and threw him across the square. Another smashed a hut roof with one hit. Fear spread like fire. Adaora ran forward with her bow. "I am the huntress of Umuogbo. Stop now!" The creatures turned to her. The biggest one roared. Adaora shot an arrow straight into its chest. The creature staggered back. The villagers gasped. She shot another. This time, the creature fell like a broken tree. The people shouted, "Adaora! Adaora, the huntress!" But the other creatures retreated into the forest, leaving a message: "We will return."
The next morning, Adaora decided to enter the forest. She could not wait for another attack. She carried her bow, arrows, a small knife, and a calabash of water. The forest was unusually silent. No birds, no insects, not even wind. Suddenly, she heard footsteps, soft, small ones. A boy jumped out from behind a tree. It was Obina, her childhood friend. "I'm coming with you." Adaora shook her head. "This is dangerous." Obina raised his little spear. "Then I will be dangerous too." Adaora smiled. She could not refuse him. They walked deeper into the forest. Soon, they reached a wide clearing filled with mist. Strange whispers floated in the air. "Turu, Mluma, Turu, Muma, turn back, turn back." Obina held Adaoma's hand tightly, but Adaora stepped forward. She saw giant footprints in the mud, fresh ones. The dark army was close. Before they could move further, nets fell from the trees. Adaora and Obina were trapped. Strange forest warriors, dressed in leaves and clay paint, surrounded them. Their leader stepped forward. He was tall, with white marks across his chest. "I am Ekene of the forest clan. Why do two children enter the forbidden land?" Adaola took a deep breath. "We seek the dark creatures. They attacked our village." The forest warriors' face changed. "Then you must see our king." They were taken across hanging bridges, up trees taller than 10 huts. Birds flew around them as they climbed. Finally, they reached a high tree village hidden in the clouds. The king of the forest clan sat on a throne of wood and feathers. He looked old but powerful. He listened as Adaora told him everything. The king closed his eyes. "Those creatures are called the Shadow Marchers. Long ago, they were guardians of the forest, but a dark spirit twisted them. Tonight, they will attack Umuogbo with full force." Adaora felt her heart drop. "How do we stop them?" The king lifted a glowing stone. "This is the heart stone. Only a true huntress can use it. If you face their leader and break the stone on his chest, the darkness will end." Adaora looked at the stone, glowing like fire. She bowed. "I will not fail." Suddenly, drums echoed from below. The shadow marchers were climbing the trees. The forest clan warriors shouted and jumped into battle. The king pushed Adaora and Obina. "Go now! Run to your village! Save Umuogbo!" The children ran down the bridges. Marchers attacked. Adaora shot arrows as she ran. Obina used his small spear to push creatures away. They jumped from a low branch and landed on soft leaves. They raced through the forest faster than the wind. They could already hear screams coming from the direction of the village. The war had begun. The village was on fire. People ran. Children hid. Warriors fought bravely, but the shadow marchers were too many. Adaora stood at the gate. She raised the heart stone. It glowed bright red. The leader of the creature stepped forward, tall, giant, with a mask of smoke. He pointed at Adaora. "You, the small huntress, you cannot stop me." Adaora walked closer. Her legs trembled, but her heart did not. "Today, Umuogbo stands." The creature roared and charged. Adaora dodged left, rolled, and shot arrows into his legs. Obina distracted smaller marchers. Warriors joined the fight. Women threw stones and sticks. The whole village stood behind Adaora. The leader grabbed her. She dropped her bow. He lifted her high. But Adaora remembered the seer's words. Courage chooses the willing. She lifted the heartstone and smashed it into the creature's chest. A bright flash exploded across the entire village. The shadow marchers froze. Then they melted away like smoke in sunlight. The war ended. Umuogbo was safe. The villagers gathered around Adaora. Chiefs bowed their heads. The seer smiled. Children danced around her. Adaora, Adaora, the village huntress of Umuogbo. Her father hugged her tightly. The king of the forest clan appeared at the forest edge. You have saved not only your village, but the whole land. Your courage is stronger than fear. Adaora smiled. She knew she would still hunt. She knew dangers would come again. But now she understood something deeper. A brave heart can protect a whole world. And so the legend of the village huntress of Umuogbo began. A story told under the moonlight. A tale of courage, action, fear, and hope for many generations.